obviously, what is very important, and you understand that I'm very excited, is to launch my new service, which is image management. And and is that something like it is in the making for some time now, because I was it's not that I was doubting of it, because obviously it's obvious to me that you need as we said, to have the image for your next job, right? You have to dress up for the next job. But I just didn't know exactly how to organize it. And now finally, I do have these things kind of more or less put in place. And so let me explain. This is the sense of the session today. How does it work, right? So first of all, it's a session. First of all, I'm talking about professional image management, right? So it's not necessarily that I cannot dress you up for the gala and for the Christmas parties, even though for the Christmas party I will do. But what I'm saying is that my thinking or my purpose is rather to dress you up for your professional life. And I would like you in your professional life to have the image as a support to the career, right? So that's the preamble, right? Get that in mind. Whenever you communicate to someone, right? So think about your meetings. The first image you send out is the image. Sorry, not the first image. The first message you send out is your image, right? You do not talk before they see how you present yourself, right? You don't have the time to talk because they will already see you and they will already have an idea, an understanding of who you are. Makes sense? So because of that, obviously, I wanted to help my clients to have an appropriate image, let's say, so that they are supported in their career. You follow me? Correct? So that's the thinking. Because I was working for so many years, as you know, on getting you more confident, getting you expressing better, being more present in the meetings, the interview selection processes, and so on and so forth, right? So I was working, as I said, on your internal needs. Now I said I have to move to adding some other, which is the image, because this image speaks before you have the opportunity or the chance to say something or to speak, right? So that is my thinking. And that's why I'm saying I'm working with I'm thinking about, or my website is to promote professional image and not necessarily leisure time, weekend and parties outfits. No, not yet. You never know. But for the moment, the focus I have is on your professional image. Right. So coming back, how do I work or how do I approach it? I would say that the first thing I would do is to have a session, and in that session, I will go through colors and cuts and types of material, types of fabrics. Wait, I'm saying, is that, do I hear something noise? Because if it's noise, then I should mute all to be sure that we don't have, right, mute all the participants. Good. So what I was saying is that we will go through whatever are the characteristics that we need to know when we are talking about image, right? So it's fabric, it's cut, it's color, is the style, let's say. And I would like to have that style on one hand in the direction that I think is right. And on the other hand, obviously, it has uh, to be right for you. In fact, so we are here in the same situation that when we prepare an interview or when we prepare your selection process, we make a combination between what I think is right as way of expressing, as presence, and what you would like to do or what you think is right for you. Makes sense? So we are always in the coaching let's say, energy, which is a co-creation, right? So we will co-create your image. Makes sense. So if I would say, like today, I'm dressed in velvet. Now, I love the velvet. I think it's very elegant without being too, um, let's say, matu vu, let's say. So, but then if you say, look, I hate the velvet, I'm not going to dress in velvet, I say, okay, we will try something else, right? So there's always this dialogue and this co-creation at the basis of our coaching session for your image. Or I would say, I prefer, um, at least for men, I would prefer a wool merinos, the extra merinos fabric. But you could say, well, I prefer to wear linen. Good. I would say that's your choice, even though I would say then obviously we'll go further in the thinking that if you are in Brussels and you are now in this weather, certainly you will not wear linen. Uh, but if you go and I don't know, you are posted in the warm, let's say, Middle East, then probably linen will be a good choice. But again, we have to discuss. We have to see how do you feel about it and what do you feel about the color. I have clients like girls, right? And they say, I do not dare to wear the colors that you do. I do not wear. My palette is very restricted. And I see someone in front of me, and I do know that her palette is very restricted. But what I will do is obviously I will help support, push you towards try another one, right? You remember, as you say to the kids, right? Just try the spinach, just try. And then we'll go next time again, just try. And hopefully by the end, they will like it. But so this will be my approach, just try. I could understand the yellow is certainly not in the colors that you use, but just try. Now, what is the point with that is that sometimes in a meeting, right, you don't want necessarily to disappear within the others. But sometimes you do, right? So then the choice of the color, I'm not talking even about the fabric here or the cut. I'm talking about the choice of color has to be strategic, right? So do you want to be seen? Okay, so then probably you could go for a yellow or an orange or a violet or so, or very strong green that the others do not dare to. But as you know, if you are visible, then it takes or it brings the, how to say, the advantages and disadvantages. But sometimes you don't want to be seen. Okay, then we will go for, the boring dark blue. But it might be that the boring dark blue you could accommodate with something else. Right? I'm wearing the boring dark blue today, but you could still accommodate or could give a how to say, a twist with the jewelry or with the brooch or whatever, foulard, even though I would not necessarily cover the dress with a foulard. This is not my, if it's a dress, you leave the dress. If it's a blouse, you leave the blouse. You don't necessarily cover it with a foulard. If you have already something which is very, let's say, of high quality, of very smart design, you do not cover it up, right? You just keep it. It has to be visible. It has to be seen. So I'm coming back. What do you say? The first thing is the session where we go explore what is right for you, right? What is right as fabric? What is right as cut? What is right as colors? With all the, how to say, comments that I just made before. And then once we have done that session on image management, like discover what is right for you, then I would say, especially for the girls, that you have a lot of pictures on the website. It's about 500 where you could choose models, right? So you have about 500 models of dresses, of blouses, skirts, trousers, and so. For the moment, only for the girls, even though I'm coming to the boys later, but we still have. Or you could do propose it to your how you say, lover, your wife, your friend, your girlfriend, and so on, right? If you are here to support them as well in their image management. So what I was saying for the girls, that you could go then on the galleries on the website, and then you choose the model that you like, and then hopefully correspond to our decision. They say our decision on what is right for you. And once you chose, you have that choice, then obviously I will how to say that, transmit the order to my tailor, and you will have that dress or the blouse or so tailor made, right? So the service that comes after the image management is a service of tailoring that is obviously on measure, and hopefully um, will respect or will go along the lines of our session in image management, and therefore hopefully will present you at your best in your meetings. So something like that. Then obviously we will have a continuous refreshment of the gallery, which means we add all the time models so that you could get how to say that, new ideas, new inspirations, probably updates in the sense, because it might be that something else will be more appealing to you that what you have seen already. And in the same way, I suppose, we will go then for changing cuts. You never know. It might be that in the first session of image management, you will choose one cut or some colors or some fabrics, because these are more, as we say, comfort zone. And you might be that with the time you will get more courageous in the choices. And then in the next session, you will say, now I want to go for the colors that I never wear before, or the cuts that I have never used before, and then we'll go there. Right, I'm coming back to the boys. So as obviously I do not have the models for the boys at home, then what we do with the boys, we go in the shops. Obviously, I have some shops where I think that they have really good fabrics and good cuts and good models and so, and then we do trying. And I would say that by trying it out, and hopefully I will have some how to say, impact in the comments, and I will have some could you say smart comments, then we'll get to something that is very right for you. And I'm giving you one example. I was coaching a German client, right? Um, PhD in economics, and uh, uh, good looking without him knowing, right? So you understand the difference, right? There are people who are good looking, or you are uh, pretty, or and still they don't know it. So this was his case, right? And then obviously problems with self-esteem, problems with the safe value. And obviously the work on the image management was done to support that development of self-value, of how to say, self-confidence, of uh, and we went to try. I think that we were in the shop Ermenegildo Zegna. I don't know if the boys have this in mind. Very stylish Italian shop, beautiful. And so he was trying, I don't remember exactly what, but probably it would be a suit, probably it would be a jacket, probably it would be a pullover. You see, 3 or 4 types of, how to say that, of outfits. And I was there in order to push him towards a little bit more courageous than what he would do normally. I mean, courageous in the sense of more aesthetic, more sophisticated. And um, and could you imagine, at a certain point, he was having tears in his eyes, and he said, "No, we have to leave. We have to leave. If not, yeah, I will start crying here in the shop." So okay, but I was okay. Let's go. Let's leave. And we went outside, and then he said, you know what? The emotion that I lived there was that understanding that I'm 45 and I never saw myself this way. You understand what I'm saying? That good looking, that elegant, that sophisticated, that, impressive. And he was in tears because of that discovery. You understand? It's amazing. So that's, you see, you get to this session of coaching, right, in image, and you say, good Lord, I could not get that effect in, uh, how to say, working from another angle. Do you see what I mean? But obviously, we worked on the oral expression, we work on his interviews, we work on his work relationship, we work on a lot of aspects, which is the personal development. But that understanding of his self image that he got in that Zegna shop was extraordinary. You see, so when you say that, you see this, or at least when I see this, I would say, gosh, that is the need, what it was needed for him. And now that I'm in confessions, let's say, I will give you another one. It's an English girl, right? So, an English girl about 30 something, 35, let's say. Huh? And again, we were working on, as usually, personal development, career development, interviews, workplace, relationship with the boss, with the subordinates, with the peers. I mean, it's always the same thing, right? Coaching for professional life. And and again, we went to the image management. And in her case, she was saying to me that she never, never, listen well to the word, never wears skirts or dresses. Never. Always trousers, right? Black trousers, obviously. You see what I mean? So always. My goodness, I said, okay, so let's go. And we first went to buy a skirt. And then obviously I worked, from all the persuasion skills I have in order to force her to get that, to accept that she looks good in that skirt, right? So that was already the effort. And then I said, okay, now that we have the skirt, now we go to buy shoes. That, you see what I mean? Not the whatever sports shoes, heavy sports shoes that she was wearing with her black trousers, but some more sophisticated shoes that will go with the skirts. And we are in the shop, and obviously I mean, she was trying. I was thinking, right, what is the right cut, the right heel or platform or closed or open shoes or this or that, you see, or this kind of heel or that kind of heel. So there are so many details, obviously, that should be there in order to give it the right image. Finally, I found platform sandals, so the sandals with a platform, kind of half open, something like that. And she tries it. I remember the name, Angela, and she tries it, and the same reaction as my German client, and she has, misty eyes, tears in her eyes. And I said, okay, so what's the emotion? What's happening there, right? And she said, I realize now that how to say, these shoes go very nice on me with my skirt, and my mother told me forever that I have ugly legs, so there's no point to try ever to put skirts or dresses, or, you see what I mean? So you see how it comes out in that moment, like a trauma that dictated your life throughout, and you were not even aware. Because before that moment, um, nor Angela, neither my German client they didn't even know how come that they don't dress, how come that they don't, how to say that, they don't value their image or they don't value their aspect. They were not aware. And that moment of confrontation, if you want, with that, with the image that they saw in the mirror, was the aha moment. So so that is to say that these kind of situations made me continue to propose the image management to in my private practice, and finally I said I will launch it to how to say, to the world. And then I hope that you are as convinced or as tempted as I am to go for this adventure. Now, obviously, we are here to you are here to ask questions. I'm here to respond to your questions. So please get, get the ball rolling. So, what is the need, the hopes, the ideas you have about? Let's see. Elisabetta, would you ask me something?
Pleasure. Always pleasure to ask you something. Yes, you know, I'm of the type of the non-courageous ones. I go for the dark blue.
I know, I know, I know.
I go for the inappropriate clothes, but for me, professional, for the daily professional life, this is okay. But I fully agree that this is inappropriate if you have some meeting or some event, but especially for meetings, not to events. This is not the party time,
For
as you
the
said.
events, we will go for the second, because in the gallery you will have a part which is the daily professional life, and then you will have another part, you will recognize it, which is more the cocktail, the Christmas dinners, or the Christmas lunch. You see something like more sophisticated. Now, having said so, I do understand that, especially if we are talking about banking sector, right? They're all in uniforms, dark blue. Uh, Now, having said so, what I would do in your case immediately is to put under the dark blue suit a blouse, right? Obviously silk, obviously, and with some drawings, right? Without being too, so I would not use red, orange, and yellow drawings on that blouse, obviously, but still, I would do a silk blouse with drawings, with flowers or whatever would be there. So that is kind of, I enter the mold like the others, but I'm different. You
Mhm.
see. So that it's a very subtle sign. I mean, you see, you have still your jacket, so it's not that you see so much of the blouse, but still it's there, right? So this is one. And secondly, I would do jewelry, so I will do earrings, for example, but not, the boring white pearls, but
Very
but
small. Always better.
exactly. I will do exactly. I will do them small, but I will use the colors on the blouse. You see? So if I have a light blue, for example, on the blouse, which is very, uh, how to say, comfortable, for you, because you're for the moment in this, how to say, banking colors, right? Then I will still use for the earrings, a light blue. Uh, so you see what I mean? So we are staying there without necessarily uh, being invisible there, you see.
And what about the shoes? Especially
Now, exactly. So now,
currently.
look, I have in mind one of the clients, right? And I accompanied her for some years, and she's now head of unit. And obviously, I'm advising my clients who want to go for management. So I'm talking about people or girls that are ambitious, they want to move on, right? I would say use the high heels, right? Now, and this one, she went in a visit with her boss. So I'm talking about very high levels in the institution. And the boss said, "Indeed, you are always on high heels," which is a compliment, right? Because the boss is Italian and very sophisticated. So that compliment came together with the fact that she did a very, how to say, quick career, and she is seen as a very, how to say, um, the next one, right? It's like, for example, the boss invited her to apply for the next director position. Now, I'm telling you, if the boss invites you to apply for the next director position, it means that you are seen as someone who can carry on the job, right? And I'm not saying necessarily that because she had high heels, then she's proposed. No, it's not that the point. The point is that she combines the two things, very professional, and in the same time, which is what we do all the time in the coaching, is that twist of the image that gives sign or gives understanding that she's ambitious and she goes for more. So she dresses, as we said, for the next job. So coming on the shoes is high heels. Now, that depends on how you feel about it, right? Because I would not say go for 12 centimeters because there's, if you never wear them, but at least for 7. 7 is kind of acceptable, it's not very high. You could still do the job. Now, but there's no point that you will travel the metro with 7 centimeters heel. No. What you do then is you wear that, you take them in your bag and you use them for the meeting, and then you change. So it's no question that you travel the whole day on your heels. No, you have them in your bag. And then when you need, you put the high heels. That obviously will give much better presence when you have dresses. But even if you have trousers, right? It's always there is a sophistication that the high heels bring.
And you personally, if I may ask, you would go for more for skirts or for trousers for girls?
Um, I would say I would go for both, right? Now, we have to see in particular cases how your legs are. And I have clients that, for example, they say, I don't have good legs, whatever, and I don't like that. So that's a very big discussion here that corresponds to how do you feel about, right? And I have to say that when I see I say the top models with the ugly legs, I would say, God Lord, put them trousers or long dresses instead of the mini jupe, mini whatever. Anyway, but that's my choice of it. But I would say that depends. We have to see. Mm? Having said so, you could have, like we wear now, midi skirts, right? Midi is and it's, I would say, very decent. I would certainly not go for short skirts, certainly not. So, and the present length is, you could wear it, I would say, the vast majority of girls could wear the midi skirts. So I would certainly alter, because the skirt then can come with a suit with a skirt, suit with a trouser, dress, right? So there are so many possibilities. If I stay in the trousers, it's quite limited. So I cannot necessarily dress up for the next job. Not necessarily, but as I said, you could wear a lot of silk blouses with your suit, and then you still give a very strong sign. But I would not stay restricted to the suit.
Okay, thanks. Useful.
Uh,
Yes.
my next, Yorgos, tell me.
Yes, yes, thank you. Ma'am, thank you very much for, first of all, for the introduction and for the tips given so far. I wanted to ask, working in the field of operational security for a man means that you have to be the gray man. namely your clothes should be perfectly matched with the gray urban environment. Don't you think, do you think that this should be followed by somebody if he or she has an interview in order to get a job like that? I mean,
Mm.
we have two different concepts, I think.
Absolutely. I do understand, Yorgos, what you say. Now, there are two things here that I will consider, right? Which is one, that you cannot be dressed with a red tie and, extravagant colors on your blouse, or, something. No, I agree with you. So therefore, your suit has to be, dark blue, or whatever, dark gray, or yes, you have to be invisible, I would not say, but certainly not very visible, because then you go against the requirements of your job. Having said so, I would go for very high quality suit and high quality cotton shirt, and I would I'm not sure. We have to see whether you wear a tie or not. But again, I would do so high quality in everything. Why? Because the high quality has a message behind that you are well organized. Now, then why is
Okay.
important? Because when you work in security, well organized means organized in advance. You see, so which
I
is
see.
fundamental for the security job. Makes sense. So the thing that I will certainly not advise you, Yorgos, is to have a linen suit. You see? So why? The linen suit, per definition, is always crumpled. Now, crumpled means to the others that you are kind of negligent. You are kind of, a little bit messy, a little bit artistic, a little bit like this. Well, this is not right for security. Makes sense? So, what I would certainly do in your case is to be impeccable, and the impeccable comes for the fabrics, first of all, and then obviously the cut, and then obviously. So I would not go for colors, right, as you said, because you don't want to, but I will
Absolutely.
go for impeccable quality, and they
Okay.
have to sit on you like you see what I mean, perfectly,
Hmm.
because that message shows organize in advance, and organize in advance is reassuring for the security job. Make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much.
So, Dimitris, do you have your question?
Yes, you know me by far. You know me so well.
Well, I
I'm
have
full of,
I
I'm,
have my old clients coming with me.
first of all, I'm really happy that you made that step because I know that it was in your mind for quite a long time.
Yeah,
But to be totally honest, I don't know exactly how you are gonna make it. So I have read in your site that you will offer like 2 hours of personal coaching,
that is, in
uh,
order to discover your style.
which is gonna be online or in person?
No, in person.
In person, okay.
Person,
So you will
because
meet me
otherwise
up.
I cannot see you, I cannot understand it. So the first, the on the how to say, the image management is on in person, absolutely so, and with the boys will be in a shop, in shops, because we have to try things so that we come to a conclusion that this is right for you and this is not right. But obviously, I have no commercial, how to say, percentages on the sale. So it's not for me whether you buy it or not. This is not the purpose. The purpose is to try and then to have like a conclusion, this goes right on you. Mm. Make sense?
So you're gonna have these in-person sessions
That is.
in shops, and
Exactly. With the boys in shops, with the
yeah,
girls, in theory, we could do it at my place, because I have, all the models from the gallery, so they could try. Whilst with the boys, I don't have, so we have to go for the shops.
yes, because I've seen the gallery, you have done really great job. That's really lots of pictures there.
But we will do it, boys. As soon as I start having the clients, you see what I mean? You could serve as model. By the way, did you see that? The pictures on the gallery are my clients, right? I
I,
mean, they look like models, but they are my clients, right? And so what I'm saying is, Dimitris, I need models as boys. So please volunteer. Yorgos as well. Please volunteer. Even more so because Yorgos and Dimitris, they have different styles. So I need both of them for the pictures.
thanks, Karen.
So, Dimitris, what is your thought, question, or say about your style?
For my style, it's I think the only thing that I can say is that for quite a long time in my professional life, let's speak about the professional life, I was paying more attention on my knowledge and my skills. In the beginning, it was skills, hard skills, in the domain. And then I find out, like, when you're a young professional, you see that, okay, soft skills play a really big role in your development. And now
And now you
lately,
discover the image plays an important role as well.
and now that I'm working in the institutions for, for 3 years now, I've seen that the image plays really a big role because it's exactly what you said at the beginning. It's the first message you deliver.
Or to, yeah, you would
The first thing.
have the time to say something. They know,
And
no, they don't know, but they think they know who you are. That is.
and for that matter, I can say, for example, that I can say that because I have worked with many Italians, and I work in a DG that has really lots of Italians, that Italians have their really great taste. Most of the time, they really know how to sell themselves when it comes to clothes. So this is one of the things that I was thinking, and this needs to be tackled by a professional, You need to have the eye of another person
Well,
because
hopefully, exactly. And I would say more than that, to combine with your the knowledge of the coaching, right, which is who you are. Makes sense? Because the problem that I could see is that it comes a professional that is professional in clothing, right? And it puts on you something that does not match the internal image. You see what I mean? So we have to have it into consideration, not only uh, let's say, strictly speaking, the image management, but your professional background, your role in the professional life, your career development thinking, right? I would like to go that way, or I would like to go the other way. So all these have to come together with the image. Makes sense. So in that sense, I would say I would not dress, certainly not, I would not dress you as Yorgos. First, because the personality. Second, because the characteristics of your professional life. He
and
works in the security, you work in IT. It's another persona.
and if I can say one last thing, just one last comment, all of this thing with dressing nowadays with the fast fashion, maybe it seems that it's easy, but it makes things even worse because the quality it's not good. Because and maybe the last thing is that branding it's another thing, and knowing what suits you is a total different thing.
Absolutely. And I will say here that someone who knows the quality will see the quality. And that's why you cannot fall into the trap of I bought, I don't know, Gucci. Yeah, did you check the fabric? Did you check the how you say the cut? Did you check how it goes on you, and does it match who you are, and so on and so forth, right? So absolutely, it's not enough that I bought from Gucci, so I'm done. No, you are not done at all, right? Absolutely, there's another way to approach this. Yeah. Elisabetta.
Yes, thank you. Hello. Um, I'm not afraid. I've never been afraid of wearing colors or jewelry or
That's great.
more
You
extravagant
have done
shoes.
already the first
But,
step.
I probably have the problem to decrease the
Okay, so we
to,
could do that as well, right?
but I mean, not for the moment. Brussels is, I think, a rather special place in that you will stand out anyway, even if you put light blue, because everything is gray and kind of dark green or brown or black in the most
Green is
cases.
already courageous, Elizabeth. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
There
yeah,
are
yeah.
not so many wearing greens here.
Yeah,
Good.
so yes, I mean, yeah, this, but I mean, of course, you can play with the tunes and the colors and all that, and I mean, it's very important also. I think it adds to the sense of elegance
Absolutely.
how you combine the colors with the coat, with the accessories, with the handbag, with the shoes,
And with
and
your personality, Elisabetta, and
yeah,
with the role,
yes,
and with your perspective on the career or the will,
yeah,
the will or the desire on the career. So all that should come together, right? Yes.
yeah. So what would be your advice on, I mean, I don't want to perhaps be too, I mean, too much into my passion for colors and, I don't know, Indian influences, etc., but also to be taken seriously
Absolutely.
and to be elegant and comfortable. But I mean, things obviously that are appropriate for my okay, I'm not 25, so I mean that
I don't
also,
absolutely don't.
I think the funny thing with women can be that at a certain age they try to look as teenagers, but obviously it's just a bit ridiculous.
Yeah, I will certainly not dress you as a teenager.
No, no,
Not to mention that I'm not very
no, but
confident a
sometimes
teenager.
in your everyday, I don't know, you I mean, I have here clothes and I say, okay, let me dress this and this and this, and then some. I mean, I try, of course. I mean, my intention is always not to to appear funny or not. I mean, but
I don't understand that.
I've
Okay,
seen it.
Elizabeth.
I
So
seen it
if
in
I,
others. Yeah,
Elizabeth, look. So if I would say, how do I? Because what I do here, there are two things, right? There is one, the loyalty to who you are, which is, I like colors, I like jewelries, I like to combine, blah, blah. Okay. And then the second thing where you said is, um, how to say, your desire, obviously, or your need or interest, blah, to be seen, to be perceived as a professional, as a serious person, right, or responsible, right, reliable person. Now, so how would I play about it? I would say that I would not go full, uh, completely colored and how to say that, full of flowers and full of
yeah,
colors thing, because for me this is too much.
mm,
But I would certainly go for, probably in the beginning, so then we test, is dresses in one color. Even that one color could be a little bit stronger
mm,
than gray and dark blue, right? So I would go, in your case, for a dark green or somewhere in that direction,
yeah,
because it is still special, right? Is not, as I said, in Brussels you don't see very green. I'm looking for green trousers for years. You cannot find, so I have to make them. There are
yeah,
no dark, I mean, green, not green, full stop. Not
yeah,
dark, not light, no green trousers. So what I'm saying is that I would go for this dress in your case, right? Which is a little bit out of the spectrum, but you see, so respect your need for a color that is different. Still, because it's one color, one piece will be seen as elegant. Make sense?
yeah,
I would do that, or like violet. could be dark, could be even strong violet. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter. It's one piece, right? But then when I have such color that is a statement color, then I won't do jewelries.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
I stay because the color has enough message in it. I don't need to put, more on that. Make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Gintare?
Hello, do you hear me?
Yes, but we don't
Uh,
see you.
Yes, something is wrong with my camera today. I apologize for it. Probably I broke it something with the computer.
Fine.
Actually, thank you for your tips. And I have one question in relation when you are a newcomer in the institution, meaning that, or in the unit, it doesn't matter. You are new, your colleagues are new. And what would you recommend and how would you recommend to dress? Let's say to use the same suit for the first meeting, to use this, or to always to be in a suit or in a dress, but more or less close or similar to the previous one. Because sometimes it's like, you want that colleagues would remember you and some point to pay attention that I'm new. So what would be
How
your
old are
advice?
you, Gintare? How old are you?
Uh 40, sorry. If
40.
you Mhm,
Now, because that depends. You see, if you are in 25, right, and you are
mhm,
new and you do, I don't know, stagiaire or so, I would not even recommend the suit, right? Now,
mhm,
if you are in 40, I would say yes, you could wear the suit, but that depends as well in which DG you are, right? Because there are then cultures specific for DGs. So, what is your DG, Gintare?
Taxud.
Taxud, right? So I would say that they are quite hmm, 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 conservative. Makes sense what I'm saying?
Mhm,
Uh, so, uh, so then we respond probably closer to Elizabeth banking, the
mhm,
first our discussion, which is that you are in a DG that is conservative. So you would like, on one hand, to be conservative, right? Because you would like to be seen as part of the team. But in the same time, if you are someone like my second Elizabeth liking colors, then probably the dark suit will not necessarily satisfy you. So then I will go to the solution, keep the dark suit because this is something that everybody wears there.
mhm,
But we could tailor for you a silk blouse with colors that are quite, let's say, delicate or
mhm.
modest, right? So then you still send a message that I'm not I would say invisible, or I'm not like the gray man of the institutions, because you still have something like differentiate you without necessarily in a very strong or how to say brutal manner. Mm? So I would just go for this detail of silk with modest, let's say, or pale colors, or and still keep for the moment, at least in the beginning, keep the suit in order to integrate, and then we'll see whether we could depart from with the
Okay.
time, but
Mhm,
not in the beginning. In the beginning, yes, you have to. There is a principle in neuro-linguistic programming that is said pace and lead. So pace is go in the same rhythm,
mhm.
and then when you go in the same rhythm, then you could lead.
But thank you.
Makes sense?
Thank you for the tips, of course.
So, well, this we are getting towards the end of our presentation. I'm ready to. Hello, Sebas. Tell me. I don't hear you. I don't hear you. Be sure that.
Sorry, yeah. Just wanted to add that for every person there is one specific palette of colors. So in order not to
Yes,
waste your money and time, you might have your colors ready with your color palette
yeah,
so as to check that this
exactly.
could
You
fit.
could do that,
This is another tool.
Savas, but there is a change, right, that goes with, for example, in my case, with the color of the hair, the color of the eyes. So it's not necessarily that you are one, right? I would say that yes, in theory. In practice, I would nevertheless check it. You see, for example, as I say, look at the Dimitris, I would say, well, to me, he will look like winter, right? Which is black, white, gray, blah, blah. But I would not stay there. So I would really test much more than the, let's say, recommended palette. So for example, I use the four seasons palette.
Yes, but the point is that you save money on that and you save time on that because the color changes. This is what I was expecting to tell me, that the color are let's say changing, but at least the
Well, I would
basis.
say, yeah, but you say
Oh,
you
I'm not.
save money. Okay, what if I want to invest money in my career? I don't want to save money. I want to invest money so that I have some impact on
This
my
was
career.
just my contribution. You don't
So,
need to consider it.
Yorgos, you wanted to say something, and then we finish because at 1 I have a coaching session.
Okay, yes, I just wanted to say that do you think that clothing shouldn't in any way affect the quality of your job, first of all, and secondly, if somebody has to take care of his or her body in order to be more easy to dress up properly?
Well, I would say I'm not sure whether I got the point. Certainly, you should keep fit, right? First of all, then you should add the image on top.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
No, I agree with that. The fact that I'm saying image management doesn't mean that I neglect the fit. And by the way, I will finish with this. My next service, but for the moment I'm just launching this one. But my next service will be fit for your career, which is exactly what you are talking about. Because what I realize, you see, okay, I'm helping my clients to do interviews, to be prepared, to have whatever, good contributions in meetings and blah, blah, but they sleep badly, they are tired, they don't remember the meetings or don't remember what I have to say, blah, blah, blah. So I said, okay, wait, we have to go on the health. And I'm telling you that I started already to include the health in my coaching, individual coaching. And my clients are, you remember the story with the coffee of yesterday, is like, wow. I don't know if I told you this story yesterday. I was having a client and she said, I don't remember things. I said, okay, I'm showing you the coffee that you have to drink, which is a coffee with MCT oil and with ghee. So these are fundamental fats, right? That they go straight to the brain. And I went in the kitchen, I prepared her the coffee, and she said, oh, you really care about me? I said, yes, because I'm giving you a lot of other things, but if you don't remember to say that, where's the point? Anyway, so thank you for your presence and see you soon.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a nice day, of course.
Of course. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.